Welcome to Honey and Brown.
Welcome. What do we do here?
We do anime and music.
Today?
Music Corner or MJ Corner.
Basically, this part of the channel is where I've already heard the song and she hasn't.
Yes.
The journey we've been going down is the Michael Jackson journey. Again, I'm gonna have to repeat this, but Michael Jackson, very important to me in my life. He was the foundation of my music taste. I didn't even know what music was until I heard Michael Jackson. And then since then, I became like a passionate lover for music. I love music and it all stems from Michael Jackson. And, my wife hasn't really been too familiar with a lot of Michael Jackson songs. So it's kind of cool that I get to introduced to her all of these songs that meant so much to me as a kid, as a teenager, and now as an adult. And I feel like as an adult these songs hit even harder. But the journey we've been going on right now is the Dangerous Journey, and so far we've reacted to 3 songs: Jam, Remember the Time, and Will You Be There. So far, out of those 3, which is your favorite? I already know what it is, but
Remember the Time.
Yeah, oh my god, guys, she's obsessed with that song. But yeah, so far from the Dangerous songs we've heard compared to the other Michael Jackson songs that we've heard, which is, again, there's a playlist down below if you want to see your previous ones. How would you put the Dangerous song so far? Like, can you see a bit of a difference and why it's my favorite album?
Yes, I do. Like, I love it. Like, Michael just has so much suave in here. Like, he is so like, I feel like in this album, he is really like telling people, showing people what he can do. Yeah,
man. He's stunning on them.
Yeah, it's like, I love it. It's like, I love when Michael is like, it's like showing some charisma.
Yeah. So today we are reacting to the title track, Dangerous, which I think you might have heard kind of like here and there, but not really like sat down and listened to it. But this song to me is one of my top 5 favorite songs of all time. This is one of my favorite songs off of this album, and this is the song to me that kind of, this and Who Is It, which I cannot wait until we react to that. Those 2 songs really make this album to me a masterpiece, so I'm so excited for that. But typically what we do is we usually just jump right in to the video, and afterwards we have a pretty lengthy discussion. So if that's your jam, give this video a like and subscribe, and again, tell us what you think of the song and tell us what you think of the Dangerous album. But yeah, so let's get on to it. This is Michael Jackson, Dangerous, off of the Dangerous album. Dangerous. Already it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's Michael. Nothing less from Michael.
Yeah. Ooh.
Damn.
Oh, do you hear that air in the background? Wait till you hear the piano. Right here. Ooh. That piano.
The way she came into the place, I knew right then and there. There was something different about this girl. The way she moved, her hair, her face, her lines, divinity in motion. As she stalked the room, I could feel the aura of her presence. Every head turned, feeling passion and lust. The girl was persuasive, the girl I could not trust. The girl was bad, the girl was dangerous. I never knew, but I was walking the line.
Oh, I love his voice here.
Come go with me, I said I had no time. And would you pretend we didn't talk on the phone? My baby cried, she left me standing alone. Just so dangerous. The girl is so dangerous. Take away my money, throw away my time. You can call me honey, but you're no damn good for me.
country.
A touch,
No.
a kiss, a whisper of love. I was at the point of no return, deep in the darkness of passion's insanity. I felt taken by lust, strange inhumanity. This girl was persuasive. This girl I could not trust. The girl was bad. The girl was dangerous. I never knew, but I was living in vain. She called my house. You said you know my name. And don't you pretend you never did me before. With tears in her eyes, my baby walked out the door. So dangerous. The girl is so dangerous. Take away my money, throw away my time. You can call me honey, but you know damn good for me. Dangerous. The girl is so dangerous.
The beat is insane.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have to bring a God, 'cause I know God loves me blind. He's the best of my soul, but you know damn love of mine.
Lust can blind, man.
Yeah.
Oh, this part here.
I cannot sleep alone at night. My baby left me here tonight. I cannot cope till it's alright. You turned my baby. And then it happened. She touched me. For the lips of a strange woman dry as a honeycomb. And her mouth was smoother than oil. Her inner spirit is sharp as a two-edged sword. But I loved it because it's dangerous. Dangerous. The girl is so dangerous. Take away my money, throw away my time. You can call me honey, but you know damn good for me. Dangerous. The girl is so dangerous. Take away my money, throw away my time. You can call me honey, but you know damn good for me. Dangerous. The girl is so dangerous.
I think I'm sure now. I love Michael. Like, I'm in love with Michael.
Away my time.
Like, I can't.
You can call me honey, but you know damn good for me. Dangerous. The girl is so dangerous. I can't believe God, 'cause I know God loves me blind. He's the best of my soul, but you know damn love I've been
Oh my god, it's just seeing Michael though.
my baby. You ain't do that.
Oh, his voice, eh?
Don't respect my baby.
Oh, it looks like a badass there, eh?
Yeah.
God, this beat is so infectious, man. Holy crap.
No.
Look at him, just pondering. He's thinking, how can I take your girl away from you?
You've already taken me, Michael. Oh my god.
Woo! Gotta wipe the sweat off you now, eh? Okay, so we're obviously gonna have a pretty lengthy discussion, but what we have been doing is we've been watching like the mini documentary from The Detail. I know some people aren't a fan of The Detail, you know, they're kind of 50-50, but you know, they did a really good job with going over the Dangerous album. But they also, you know, they did a bit of a discussion on this song. So before we talk about it, let's just watch it. So this is from the Detail Dangerous 30 Anniversary Special.
Willing to end without leaving a lasting impact, the album wraps up with the menacing title track, Dangerous. A tale of seduction and deception warning against sexual sin. Teddy Riley returns to the producer's chair with a track that adds to the cast of dangerous women who populated many of Michael Jackson's songs, from Billie Jean to Dirty Diana. With this song, the album comes full circle. Dangerous was originally recorded in September 1990 with Bill Bottrell, but Jackson was not satisfied with its initial incarnation. When Teddy Riley came onto the project in early 1991, Jackson got him to work on the unfinished demo. Dangerous was about a woman who was just so beyond, beyond the best girl he's ever been with.
Oh my
Michael
God.
came in with the hook. I did the music, and then we finalized the song. There's no science to it. I just feel my way through the production, said Riley when asked about the track. Teddy Riley developed a mechanical New Jack beat, perhaps the heaviest of the collection, without sacrificing the gritty textures of Bottrell's original work. The lyrics warn the listener against allowing a seductive woman to lead you down the wrong path, which Jackson seems all too happy to do. But I loved it, 'cause it's dangerous. Upon the album's release, the track Dangerous was generally well received by music critics. Nelson George said of the song, "It is a pile-driving track that explodes from radio speakers." Dangerous, in fact, opens another window into Michael's artistic process. Writer Barry Farber noted that the same lyrics are an excellent representation of how sex can sometimes feel like a powerful biologically driven force. John Pareles, a writer for the New York Times, said he is a great dancer, yet his songs proclaim a terror of the body and of fleshy pleasures. It was originally planned that Dangerous would become the 10th single from the album, set for a January 1994 release with grand plans for an elaborate music video. However, the proposed release was scrapped after allegations were made against the singer in August and Michael Jackson's hospitalization in November 1993. However, although Dangerous wasn't chosen as a single, its live performances showcased the King of Pop's ingenuity in synchronized dance and solidified Michael's reputation as an era-defining performer for a new generation. Most notably, his 1993 American Music Awards performance was influenced by Judy Garland's song and dance number Get Happy from the 1950 movie musical Summer Stock. Jackson and his dancers wearing suits and fedoras as a nod to Garland's costume. The song was later added to the setlist during the final leg of Jackson's Dangerous World Tour. The second version of the song was performed at the 1995 MTV Music Awards and as a regular during the History World Tour. This version does not contain the second verse, bridge, or third speaking interlude, but instead has samples from Yes, owner of A Lonely Heart, The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly, Smooth Criminal, Let's Dance, Janet Jackson's You Want This, Monty Norman's James Bond theme, and Duran Duran's A View to a Kill. The concept and general plot originally considered for the music video for Dangerous was later adapted for Michael Jackson's 2001 video for You Rock My World. The film sees Jackson dressed in similar attire to that he would perform Dangerous in, attempt to gain the affections of a woman that ultimately causes a fight to break out between the artist and gang members in a bar.
That actually does make sense.
The dance performed during the video consists of fragments from the canceled Dangerous music video, during what was ultimately the King of Pop's last appearance in the medium that he became a master of. After 30 years and 32 million albums sold worldwide, it's hard to comprehend the legacy that Michael Jackson's Dangerous has left behind, especially 12 years after the King of Pop's own sudden demise. His R&B rap fusions set the blueprint for years to come, while his industrial soundscapes and metallic beats were later popularized by artists as diverse as Nine Inch Nails and Lady Gaga. As one of the world's highest-selling records of all time, some consider Dangerous as Jackson's artistic peak, and the most groundbreaking record of its era, the very peak of his powers, with his widest ever emotional range, free from genre and musical convention. Michael Jackson, fully formed and no longer content with being labeled the Peter Pan of pop, or the music industry's commercial darling, had a bold approach when recording Dangerous. A much sharper, riskier album than anything he had created before, Jackson was determined to hold up a mirror to the world to shame us for our dysfunction and the despair we accept around us. but at the same time, bring hope and clarity with his universal message. A spiritual and ideological cleanse that is just as relevant today as it was the day he first released it all those years ago.
So, I actually really like that video that talks about Dangerous. Yeah. Damn you to the world that didn't allow Michael to release a music video for this.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get on to the song. What is your initial thoughts on it?
I really love it when he,
I thought you said I don't like it.
I really love it. Like, I just, whenever he talk, like, when he's not saying the part that he's talking is like, oh God, Michael's so hot. Like, God, Michael. And also, like, I feel like if there was an actual, like, music video to this, I would love this more.
Oh, yeah.
But I love Remember the Time more, just because Michael is so cute.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you which one do you like so far more.
Still Remember the Time.
I mean, yeah, if this had a music video, this would be, that much better. I mean, the song is already, to me, I don't like to rate Michael Jackson songs because I'm like, who am I to ever say what's a 10 out of 10? But to me, this is like peak perfection. This is the most perfect Michael Jackson song I've ever heard in my life. Like this. If you were to introduce Michael Jackson to somebody who's never heard of them, I honestly think this is the song. This and Who Is It? I think those are the two songs that you play because and it really showcases what Michael is, what he's made of. But thank you to also Teddy Riley, man. Michael teaming up with him, I really feel like that. I know Michael was huge in the 80s. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from that. Like, Michael in the 80s was like God tier, right? Yeah. But when he left Quincy Jones, we've already kind of discussed that. When he left Quincy Jones because he wanted more creative freedom and he just wanted something new. He worked with Quincy Jones for, like over a decade. Mm-hmm. As an artist, you want to expand, right? Yeah. And yeah, him and Teddy Riley, man, I don't know. Like, guys, like, I don't want a debate. Like, I'm not trying to say anything is right or wrong, but I feel like Michael stuck with Quincy Jones in the 90s. I don't think Michael would have reached the level that he's at now. I think Michael was a mega huge star in the 80s with Quincy Jones, but him teaming up with Ted Riley, and you just see a totally different side of Michael, during the Dangerous and the History and the Blood on the Dance Floor, like those three. You see a more what's the word, like a more darker edge to him. Yeah, like the music that I feel like the music that Ted Riley was able to brought forth, with to push him,
like with Michael's like lyrics and and of course what Michael can do, it actually really helped Michael just reach a new type of sound. Yeah. And it's amazing because everything in this song, everything in this album so far is holy crap. I feel like 10 out of 10 all the time, every single time. It's just it really it can really bring something on the table. It's so good. It's so perfect. Each one.
It's such a different animal. Yeah. And we're gonna talk about the song in a second, but I just want to kind of talk about why this song is so good because of what it represented. This song wouldn't have really worked in the 80s with kind of the sound that Michael was doing. I think this is a perfect rebirth. This album just it pushed Michael in the studio, it pushed Michael vocally, and I think it really pushed Michael's songwriting abilities because Michael was already an amazing songwriter, right, in the 80s, but I honestly feel in the 90s he was let loose, especially with this album. He had 100% creative control and he was controlling his narrative, he was controlling his story that he wants to tell. And my God, can you imagine because I mean, again, I was raised during the Dangerous era, so my first introduction of Michael was the Dangerous album. But I can't even imagine what it'd be like to grow up with Michael in the 80s and you hear Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad, and that sound and that momentumness, and then to hear Michael in the 90s with Dangerous. It's to me it's two different styles, and they're both perfection, but there's something about the Dangerous sound, the song and the album. It's just apex. It's just
yeah.
so different. It's so edgy, it's so dark, it's so badass, it's so like, you know, I love it. But the song itself, like this is pure sexual magnificent from Michael. And people have been asking in the comments when we're gonna do In the Closet, because they want to see how you're going to react to that. My god, that's gonna be
no.
we're gonna need a towel for that one. But this song, I love the story he's telling. You know, a seductress, you know, someone, I don't know, I mean, I don't know if this was written about, or maybe he had the mindset of Diana Ross. I don't think so. I don't know, I haven't really heard much about it. I know like a few songs off this album kind of, you know, had that memory of her. But this song to me is just like, you know, man, I love it that it's like Michael knows that the girl is dangerous and that she's a seductress and that she is, you know, the devil incarnate. Yeah. But he likes it. He likes the thrill. He wants to see how far he can push the limits. Yeah. You know, and I love how he speaks at first. It's like poetry, right? I know. And then when he sings, it's almost like a sadness to it, because I feel like when he's talking and he's kind of describing, you know, the aura around the seductress, you know, it's very confident. It's very much like, I'm an animal. But as soon as like kind of like the pre-chorus hits, when he's starting to sing, you know, where he's saying stuff like, you know, I cannot sleep alone at night. It's kind of like a desperation. It's kind of like that bravado or whatever that word is. It's kind of like taken away from him. It's stripped down to the core, and you know, like that's what love and lust can do, right?
That makes me sad, like, you know, that like when that lyric is like when he can't sleep at night, because basically this is his doing, that he lost his true love because like he was, you know,
or was it his true love?
Or I don't know. So, like, I don't know. What? Not really like Michael's true love, but like someone's true love, because you were like, you know, you were tempted by someone. It's just like, yes, in theory, to be honest, I do understand that theory of like, you know, getting tempted with someone that's like dangerous.
Yeah, you
that,
do?
Like, no.
What do you mean no?
What about me?
You're the seductress in my life.
Is there anything about me that's dangerous? I wish I can be like, you know, something like that. It's like, God, the only thing I can get is like cute. That's it. Yeah. But like, you know, like I love that. Like I do understand that kind of theory of like, you know, when someone's that dangerous, like someone that's like very charismatic that approaches you, that you can't like, there's like certain magnetism that you can't really like help yourself but be drawn to them. And then, but you know it's bad. You know it's, you know they're dangerous. you know you can't. But you want to keep pushing. You want to see how far you can go, and then until like you lose it all. Yeah. And then you can't sleep at night.
Yeah, because like you
could have slept, Michael.
You know, they say that there's a fine line between love and hate, and like that line has always kind of like stuck with me, right? It's true. There's always a fine line between loving and hating, but I think there's a finer line between love and lust. You know what I mean? Like I think sometimes especially
so true.
Yeah, especially men. I mean, like I'm not trying to sound like I'm on one side or the other. I mean, I just think as like, I mean, I don't want to categorize it, but I feel like men fall into the trap of lust, and we sometimes confuse it for love.
That is true,
know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, women can play that seductress card, right?
That is true too.
It's such a cool dynamic between like, and I don't want to say men and women. I just want to say someone that you are attracted to, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like when somebody knows that someone's attracted to them, you know, they are in the lead. Yeah. They are in control. They control everything. And you see in the song, Michael's kind of coming in and out of, is he in control, or is, you know, the woman that's seducing him in control? And you don't really find out. I mean, you kind of do, but the song is so long and it's such an epic journey, but it's like the core of it is just, it's lust. It's at the end of the day, I don't know if Michael loved the girl in the song. I don't think he loved his seductress. I think he fell.
Knows.
Yeah, I think it was his pride. I think he fell and he's like, no, I'm gonna prove to you that I'm Mr. Steal Your Girl, right?
Yeah.
And I love it. Like the girl is so dangerous, and like, it's true. Like it's danger because it's like a spider's web. He fell into the trap.
Yeah.
And now he lost everything. And
Yeah.
it's such a, this is like such a beautiful song. And the beat, oh my God, the beat. Like
Yes.
when that piano kind of comes in. When that comes in, it's like it kind of like brings the song down, but not in a bad way. It kind of like brings the high of lust down.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
are kind of aware. It's kind of like you just did the deed, and then like you're kind of like left there broken because you know that it's not a forever thing, right?
You know, like it's something bad. You know,
Yeah.
it's something you regret. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Now,
And like he's
now
left,
face the consequence.
yeah, he's left alone and broken, and it's beautiful. And like, oh my God, the lyrics is just it's poetry in motion, which is cool because he does say divinity in motion, but I think the song is poetry. This is like a poet's sorrow. Like this is a poet weeping, and it's beautiful because like when he's speaking and like he's the lyrics, it's so like divine and elegant, but it's so dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's such a brokenness to this song, but it's such a beautiful song. I can listen to the song all the time, and it's just a perfect song. The beat, the drums, the New Jack sound, the lyrics. Oh man, like Michael and Teddy Riley, man, just a perfect combination. Because honestly, I don't think Quincy Jones could have brought this out of Michael.
No, I don't think so.
I think Michael needed to step out on his own 2 feet, and I think he needed to show the world because he was huge in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
But Michael had a distinct sound in the 80s. There were some songs that were, sounded very different from the typical Michael. And I love, Michael in the 80s. I love, there's so many amazing songs, like Human Nature. I cannot wait until we react to that. That is one of my favorite songs of the 80s era. Human Nature. That's such a beautiful song. And he has other songs like Man in the Mirror, Smooth Criminal, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Rock With You, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. There's so many amazing classics in the 80s, right? Man. In the 90s,
Dangerous is different.
it hits different. It's almost like you can't compare them. It's like two different genres, two different types of artists.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest compliment because Michael isn't a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
He doesn't just have one sound. He does have one voice, and that voice is very distinct and very kind of like celestial. It's very big. It's very like it's like a voice from the heavens.
Yeah.
But Michael's sound, his talent, his writing ability evolves with the time, and he creates the new type of evolution in music.
Yeah.
And this song is a perfect example of it.
I feel like even if he has just one voice, like he does so much with it.
Yeah.
Like, oh
The
my
range
God.
is insane.
Yeah, it's like I can't really like see, like I can't really hear, like like I can, yeah, of course, like it's very distinct that it's Michael, but it's just the way that he uses it.
Yeah.
It's just so much. It's like it's so good. Like it's just so different each time.
Yeah. Whew. But yeah, this was great. I'm so happy that you like this song because this is like, again, another track on this album that just makes this album like more than a masterpiece. Like
Honestly, I love every song.
so far, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
like
and-
there's no like.
I know
I love every song.
There's like love. There's such a aura around this
Yeah.
album. But anyways, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
But thank you guys again for watching. I cannot wait to hear people's comments about the song because
Yes.
this is one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you guys again, and
Thank you.
yeah, we'll see you in the next video.